Okay, if you guys want a quick recap of everything that has happened in the case from January 30th of 2020 through March 5th of 2020, I definitely invite you to stick around. We're going to go over some of the basic stuff that has gone down and just kind of put everything into one complete package. The previous timelines that I completed did stop at January 30th, so I just want to pick up where we left off in case you've missed some of the updates along the way. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I definitely invite you to subscribe if you want to keep up to date with this case. Please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you're notified when I have new content. And with things really starting to take off now, I can promise you I have a lot of it coming. I am very proud of the community that's being built at this channel, and I would definitely love for you to be part of that. With all that stuff out of the way, let's go ahead and run down everything that's happened in about the last 6 weeks. Now, most people were actually made aware of this case on January 30th of 2020 when Lori failed to produce JJ and Tylee to Rexburg, Idaho authorities by 5 p.m. Mountain Time that day. Prior to that, this case was somewhat unknown, especially to mainstream media. Lori fails to produce these children with seemingly no consequence. So for the next almost 3 weeks, people were getting pissed off saying, why hasn't she been arrested? Like, okay, you don't have to produce your children. Oh, well, we tried, and then we just go on about our day. Eventually, we figured out that wasn't going to be the case, but at the time, that is definitely what it felt like, and it was very frustrating to watch as somebody who's followed this case very closely for almost 3 months now, and also to see everybody that was new to the case also aggravated with the circumstance, with little to nothing happening from Idaho authorities. Even though the legal process didn't seem to be going anywhere for the first over half part of February, there were a lot of documents and more details to certain events that took place that were released to the public. Anything that was released to us that was of value to the actual case, I did cover, and there are going to be a ton of video links down below. If you don't want to go one by one through all those, you are welcome to browse the video tab on my channel, and you can see every topic that we've covered so far. Now, the same week that Lori was to present the children to Idaho authorities, Larry and Kay Woodcock did file for guardianship of JJ. They did this on January 29th, and now, almost 6 weeks later, their first court hearing in regards to guardianship will take place on Thursday, March 12th of 2020. Because it is a family court matter, unless somebody close to the case speaks out, we're not going to hear a lot of details about it. If we thought a lot of people were made aware of this case on January 30th, on February 14th of 2020, Dateline did a 2-hour special called Where Are the Children? This special broke down the basics of the case fairly well. We were introduced to Annie Cushing at this time, which is Tylee's aunt. I did a full analysis of my opinion of the entire episode. That's linked down below. Also linked down below are 3 different ways that you can watch and or listen to that episode in its entirety.
You've had a long news career. How does this story compare to the others you've covered?
It's nothing like any of them. I've been doing this for a whole long time, and no, it stands alone.
So just a couple days after Dateline airs, suddenly Chad and Lori are leaving Kauai, and they take off to Maui for a couple days. People caught them in the airport on their way out. People caught them at the airport in Maui. There were signs on the highway like you can see down here below. I mean, people were on them. They weren't going anywhere without people knowing.
You're being watched. A small army of citizen sleuths is keeping tabs on every move these newlyweds are making.
They just left.
Wherever they go, cameras follow. Lori Daybell is at the center of the baffling missing kids case that's riveting the nation. Her 2 kids, Tylee and JJ, haven't been seen since September.
Where are your children?
She and her new husband, Chad, have been living on the Hawaiian island of Kauai. Just the other day, they took a trip to the island of Maui, where citizen sleuths picked up the trail. This photo was taken at a car rental counter. I wanted to let her know that I saw her, that it's not just the police and media who are watching her, writes the sleuth who took the shot. She asked to remain anonymous. I pointed at her and mouthed, "I see you. Where are your kids?" She looked at me, raised her eyebrows, and just shrugged. They were also filmed at the end of their 2-night Maui stay. It's not clear if this woman is also shooting video of the couple. and a citizen sleuth was there taking photos when they flew back to Kauai. This picture was taken when they landed in Kauai. And when they got to the gated community where they are living, they encountered this handwritten sign at the main entrance: "Where are the kids?" A similar placard, "Where are the children?" was posted to a speed limit sign nearby. We caught up with the missing children's grandparents, Kay and Larry Woodcock, as they flew home from Los Angeles after an appearance on Dr. Phil. They are grateful to all those citizen sleuths.
Keep the pressure on them and keep putting up those signs in Kauai. Where are the children? They're doing a great job out there.
They left on February 16th and they returned to Kauai on February 18th. February 18th turns out to be a pretty significant day this month as well. On that day, Idaho authorities did go ahead and request and did receive an arrest warrant for Lori Vallow with 5 different charges listed. 2 counts of desertion and non-support of children. She has 1 count of resisting and or obstructing an officer. She has solicitation, and she also has contempt. The contempt charge is a result of her defiance for the January 30th court order that said you need to produce your children, which we all know she didn't. Again, linked below, I did go over her charges and full probable cause affidavit in detail. Check out the links below, or again, go to the video tab of my channel. February 20th, 2020, it was finally the day that the entire world had been waiting for. Lori Vallow was arrested. It was a Thursday. We had just got done eating dinner. My grandson was here and we were upstairs playing and my phone was just blowing up. I finally looked at my phone and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I was back down here and I was live within 10 minutes. And I thank each and every one of you who spent that time with me that night. And that was the night that I decided we were going to display Lori's original mugshot right here. After she was arrested, we were live for about an hour and a half, and then as the documents started to come out, I did go over those in full detail. But this was a big day for this case, and ever since this day, things have really started to pick up some steam, and hopefully soon we're going to see some major results. Now, the following day, on February 21st, 2020, Lori appeared in court for the very first time. Old doofus Daybell over there sat in court like you see on your screen, and that was the face he had the entire time. It was bizarre to watch. And she stood in court with her arms crossed and acted a fool. And the judge ultimately did confirm the $5 million bond that was requested by Idaho authorities. At that point, she decided she was going to fight extradition, and she was going to be in it to win it. She was going to stomp her feet and throw a fit until she got her way. You know, she could huff and puff and pout all she wanted, but this day did not go her way at all.
All right, anything further? You decide.
Unless Your Honor has particular questions.
No, I don't. Thank you. All right. Then, first of all, as to bail, bail is confirmed in the amount of $5 million. As to the
Before Lori was arrested, it was made public that the property they were staying at in Princeville was actually under contract in escrow. Prior to all of this happening, they were made aware that they were going to have to move sometime soon. Just a few days after her arrest, it was made public that Chad did cancel his lease and that he planned to leave the island of Kauai by that Friday, which would have been February 28th. At the time we find out Chad is burning out of town, we're like, okay, well, deuces, buddy. Nobody really cares where you are right now. We didn't expect to see Lori back in court until March 2nd because she was fighting extradition. That quickly changed. As soon as it was made public that Chad was likely leaving the island, then suddenly we got word that DaCosta, Lori's attorney, filed yet another motion to have her bond reduced, and that was scheduled for Wednesday, February 26th. Ultimately, that bond reduction is denied, and the judge basically told her, listen, when I say bail is confirmed, bail is confirmed. That means it is what it is. Deal with it. Well, not 2 seconds after the judge denies this, then DaCosta stands up and says, oh, well, she's going to waive extradition. She'll just willingly go back to Idaho now. My opinion stands exactly the same. I feel like she went ahead and waived extradition because she wanted to be wherever the hell Chad was. So she waived extradition. They set up a status hearing, which we're going to talk about in just a couple seconds. But Chad did eventually leave the island on that Friday, so she actually was in Kauai for just a few days, all by her lonesome.
If Chad Daybell thought he could slip away from Hawaii unnoticed, he was mistaken.
Where's the kids, Chad?
Check out the citizen sleuths recording his every move. Regular folks with cell phones get right in his face.
You leaving Hawaii finally?
Last night, Daybell, whose wife Lori remains in jail awaiting imminent extradition to Idaho, was spotted at the airport in Hawaii, apparently on his way home. Lori Daybell is charged with 2 counts of child desertion. Her 2 kids have not been seen since September. Before her arrest, the Daybells were dogged by citizen sleuth
They just left.
who followed them wherever they went. So Chad Daybell, who writes books about doomsday, should get used to the attention even when he's back home.
Where's the kids, bro?
Now, Lori wasn't the only one who would be in a courtroom that week. Her niece, Melani, has this really nasty custody battle going on with her ex-husband, Brandon. Brandon, if you guys remember, he was shot at by who he presumes to be Alex Cox on October 2nd, 2019, as he pulled into his driveway at home in Arizona. After basically his attempted murder, he took their 4 children and he fled to his parents' property in American Fork, Utah, and that's where he is to this day. So right now, Melani's trying to get rights to her children, and he has spelled out all of these reasons as to why she cannot. There's an entire video down below about Brandon and Melani. And in response to all of Brandon's accusations, Melani has now fired back with these off-the-wall things. If she wants to make those claims in court, she's going to have to figure out how to prove them in court to make them evidence. And I'll be very curious to see her try to do that. Brandon didn't have to be present for this hearing, but Melani did show up with Zulema, who is Alex's wife. She showed up with Lori's sister, Summer, and her current husband, Ian. Melani and Ian are now reportedly living back in Arizona while she goes through this custody battle. And that also means that he left his ex-wife and his own children behind in Idaho to be in her back pocket, which is just bizarre. So if you want to hear all about the accusations that they're making against each other, that's going to be linked down below. It is bizarre because Melani is Lori Jr. Melani and Brandon do have another hearing scheduled for later this month on March 26th of 2020. We'll have to see what happens then. There's nothing that's come out, but so far it doesn't look like she's gained any access to her children. And frankly, I hope it stays that way. Now, March 1st, 2020, I got on Twitter on that Sunday morning and I had seen a post by Annie Cushing, who is again Tylee's aunt. Annie was doing this social media push, this grassroots investigation. She was spearheading this search for people who had visited Yellowstone National Park on September 8th of 2019, which we have now learned to be the last known sighting of Tylee Ryan. I got myself together, I came down here and I put together a quick little video and I shoved it everywhere I could in order to get this information out in hopes that maybe, just maybe, something would come of it. All of Annie's hard work really paid off because on March 5th, the FBI released a press release as well as photos from that day at Yellowstone Park, and they are asking for what Annie was pushing for. And I was so damn excited to see this. I feel like investigators were actually listening to the family members, and to the public at large to say, okay, why the hell haven't you tried this? Why are all of us over here racking our brains trying to come up with ideas when you're the damn FBI? This was a very exciting day for me, and to see this, I could not wait. I was so proud of Annie in that moment. And just to know that the FBI listened to her is so damn exciting. Now, I did leave my video up. All I did was update the description box with all the new contact information to get hold of the FBI. The 2 pictures you see of Tylee and JJ and also of Lori and JJ were recovered from Lori's iCloud account. The FBI is looking for anyone and everyone who was in Yellowstone that day that may have inadvertently caught these guys in the background of your photos. It doesn't have to be the best picture ever. It doesn't have to be the perfect Kodak moment. They're looking for anything. They want to get hold of the metadata that's available and try to put some more details together about that specific date. They were traveling that day in Alex's truck. It's pictured below with the license plate that you can see. Put them on your own social media. You really never know who this information is going to land in front of. And if I am lucky enough and you were at Yellowstone National Park on September 8th of 2019, please, please, please check all of your footage, still photos and video from that day. If anybody discovers anything, the FBI has now set up a website that you can contact the FBI directly. It's FBI.gov/Rexburg. I'm happy to keep spreading the word, but honestly, I'm happy to use my voice and the FBI's resources, as I think anybody else who tried to help Annie with this project is. Please, please, please continue to share this information. All of this stuff will be linked down below. This has been one of the more exciting things I've seen from investigators, and to know that this idea came from Tylee's aunt, it makes me so damn proud. It makes me so damn proud that JJ and Tylee have people like Annie and Colby and Kay and Larry in their corner who are racking their brains and are willing to go to the ends of the earth to find information to recover these children. On March 4th, Lori appeared in a Kauai courtroom for the very last time. Her status hearing had been scheduled for March 4th, and it just so happened that she was still in town, so she did go ahead and appear in court. She looked defiant and pissy and had this air about her that we've just now we've just come to expect it from her. We don't expect anything less. The judge was like, all right, when are they coming to get her? They let him know, and she was like, all right, bye. Like, the judge was like, all right, done. The hearing lasted literally 2 to 3 minutes. It wasn't anything that exciting. On the evening of March 4th, Idaho authorities did put her on her plane, and they started the extradition process back to Idaho, and she did arrive in the Madison County Women's Facility on March 5th of 2020.
I'm Nate Eaton at the Rexburg Airport, where Lori Vallow Daybell just got off this plane behind me. She landed in Boise earlier today, was escorted onto this aircraft. She landed, and I had a chance to ask her some questions. Welcome back, Lori. Where are your kids? Just tell us where your kids are. Where are your kids? Anything you want to say, Lori? Anything you want to say? How does it feel to be back in Idaho? What do you want to say to your kids? What do you want to say to Colby? Anything you want to say to Chad, Lori? Any message you have for people watching? Why won't you talk, Lori? Why won't you talk to us? Why won't you talk to the world? This could all be over if you would just answer some questions, Lori. What do you have to say? Did you commit any crimes, Lori? What message do you have for the world, Lori? I know you can hear me. There's a lot of people that want to hear what you have to say. We're ready to listen. JJ and Tylee deserve your answers, Lori. From here at the airport, she was immediately put into a police vehicle and taken to the Madison County Jail, where she was booked. She will appear in court Friday at 2 p.m. on the charges. We will see if she has anything to say at that point.
So here's our mugshot gallery to date. Time of this filming, Lori has been in jail just over 2 weeks, and jail's not been kind to her. And frankly, that doesn't bother me one damn bit. Now, on March 6th of 2020, Lori did have her initial appearance in a Madison County, Idaho courtroom. That hearing was about 50 minutes long. There was a lot of stuff that took place in there, both from the judge and just the people in the gallery and even Lori herself. That is going to be its own separate video. I want to break down the hearing for you guys, explain some things that did go down, explain some things that the judge did say. I also want to talk about what we can expect in the coming weeks, especially what we can expect during the preliminary hearing, which is set for March 18th and 19th. So you guys can look for that analysis very soon. Wherever this video finds you, I hope you are having the best day ever. Take care, make good choices out there, and I will see you guys when I see you. Bye, guys.